Hey guys, welcome to Dizzle in Motion. This is going to be part of a series that I want to do for you guys going forward. Let me know in the comments if this is the kind of content you want to see. So what I do is I also do investing. This is not financial advice, but in related to the car field, automotive, and other things of that nature, I'd like to cover some of the things that are happening with the stock prices, as well as the company infrastructures, the way they're selling cars, and what we might glean from that as to where they're moving forward. So let me know in the comments this kind of material you want to see. Today's video is going to start off with Carvana, the roller coaster that Carvana's been and all the crap they've been through in the last 2 years. I'm going to bring you up to speed, what's going on today and where I think it's going. All right, so let's get straight into it. What is Carvana? Carvana is one of the best dealerships secondhand, or has been, in the last decade. They moved their way up very quickly because of a couple of reasons. Number one, they have a great technology online model. So you're able to buy, select, view vehicles, find vehicles very easily. Good futuristic model, as we've seen a lot of dealerships moving similar to the Tesla model where everything's online. You pick your vehicle, except we're talking about secondhand vehicles. So they're able to buy cars, acquire them, bring them to the field, and you can go online, go on your phone, find these cars quickly, get through the pricing of it, get your financing, and get online. And that's why they've been very successful. Now, in the last couple of years, they skyrocketed in popularity because of COVID, right? So people weren't going out, people wanted to maintain social distancing. The model of Carvana worked perfectly hand in hand with the pandemic, and everything went through the roof. In fact, Carvana couldn't even keep up. They could not keep up with the demand for these vehicles. So what went wrong? We know what went right. They had a great model, they had great technology, they had great foresight. The way they dropped Carvana on the market was cool. They had the gimmicks, they had the glass tower vending machines of cars. It was a great idea. Marketing was on point. The pandemic shot their sales through the roofs, but they couldn't keep up. So what they did, unfortunately, was they knee-jerked. They bought an auction company. It was like a couple $2 billion. They put all this money, it was over $3 billion into the red, basically leveraging the company that was doing great to say, hey, we need more cars. If we need more cars, that means we got to be able to get them at the source, right? Which is mostly auctions when it comes to secondhand wholesaling and dealerships. They did that, but by the time they got it all spun up, the pandemic was kind of winding down. Now add into this that we had done the stimulus, we did all these crazy spending bills, and so interest rates spiked up, all the spending went down, cost of living goes up, right? We have less money to spend. And all of a sudden Carvana had built in this extra $2 billion of expenses to make their company be able to pump out vehicles, and we went back to the other model of pre-pandemic, except that this time 5% interest rates instead of 0, 10% interest rates instead of 5, that kind of thing. So that's really what was the start of the fall of Carvana. Their stock price actually crashed 97% in 2022. Outside factors. So not only was their stock price tanking as it was no longer the model of choice and just consumer confidence was low in purchasing anything, at the same time you got videos like this and that, and well, here's a few.
Into removing the video. The only reason you want the video removed is because you know it shows you guys are lying, slimy bastards, or shows that you guys are the lying, slimy bastards that you are.
Not just that, now the local media in the Phoenix area where Carvana is actually based are dropping grumblings of thousands of people in the Phoenix area are going to lose their jobs if this company goes bankrupt.
So you have all those videos coming out. At the same time, there was scandal with the titles. Were some of these cars stolen? I won't get into that. I know there's plenty of people that have channels that want to go into the drama of Carvana. That's not what particular video is about. But you had all of that hitting at the same time. So what the hell happened since January? Well, a couple of things. One, Carvana kind of bottomed out. They're on their last legs. From all the professional sources that I gleaned, they have less than a year of operating capital left. So it's do or die for them. Now, if you guys are familiar with the rest of the stocks that were doing good during the pandemic, I'll give you an example. GameStop, AMC, where literally retail investors come together to combat options. So it's short squeezing. Won't go all the way into that, but basically a lot of people bet that the stock's going to go down, and then they leverage. I have $1,000. I'm going to simplify it, oversimplify it, but just so we're clear, what that means is if I only have $1,000, I might only be able to buy 10 shares of a stock, but I can buy the option for the price of that stock at much cheaper, meaning that I could leverage my money, and my $1,000, instead of only getting 10 shares, now I can control 100 shares for the same price. Now, if I'm right, that means I can sell out of my position at 100 shares for the profit difference without ever investing the money. If I'm wrong, now I owe those extra shares. You see what I'm saying? Now I owe 100 shares instead of 10 shares back to the person that I owe the option for. So a short squeeze is where so much money is invested on shorting, which means you think it's going to go down, that if for some reason the stock goes the other direction, now the people that shorted it have to buy more shares to pay back their position. Meaning what happens to the price of the stock? Anytime you buy, you have mass purchase of any price, you're going up. So we saw it basically double in the last month here. And that's what you saw, that's what's currently going on. It's what we call a meme stock that's happened in other sectors of the stock market. So just because that stock is coming up does not necessarily mean that Carvana is on the mend. It's a good buy. Again, not financial advice, but just looking at the totality of how this works, that's what's going on right now. So where does that leave us going forward here in 2023? Again, this is not financial advice to buy or not buy Carvana stock. We're just looking at the value of Carvana as an automotive company. I guess, my best guess would be that if they can't find a way to solvency, that they'll be bought out. I don't know if it's CarMax, I don't know who, but some larger institution that's more reliable, has more liquid cash, is going to come in if they drop low enough, and they're going to buy them out and fix them. Because I feel that the system Carvana uses, the model they use, is the future model. You look at Ford even, Ford's going with their EVs, they're going to do direct order, everything online. Everybody wants to follow Tesla, because Tesla spends like $1,000 to $2,000 less per unit by not having to do all the dealership, advertising BS that most of the other dealers do. And that coupled over millions of cars is a huge profit margin, as you might imagine, right? Thousands times millions, duh. So I foresee either somebody buying out the Carvana model and either raping their tech from them and applying it to their company, and or as a surrogate keeping Carvana going. Now that's all dependent, of course, of them putting all these scandals to rest. The title stuff, that stuff has to go away, right? Or else we're not going to see any progress. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do any of you actually buy Carvana stock? I know there's a lot of haters in the YouTube community on Carvana because of some of the scandals, and so I'm not taking a side on it. I'm simply saying there's money to be had if it's recovered if somebody buys it. It's kind of like one of those buy and sees, in my opinion. However, the more likely scenario to me is they're going to get pillaged for their tech, and it's probably going to go away. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you care about Carvana? Is that a place you ever bought a car for? Actually, who has a horror story about Carvana? That's what I want down in the comments. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do another video on Tesla soon and some other stuff. Appreciate you guys as always. Have a good one. Be safe.